and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ellie. So today's video is going to be all about Fairyloot, specifically the Romantasy book subscription. I have now been subscribed to that for a year, so I thought I might make a video just talking a little bit about the books I've received, the costing, and whether I think the subscription is worth it. It is an extremely popular one that I think has a very long waitlist. I did sign up for the waitlist when they first announced it, so I think I only waited maybe 3 months before I was put onto the subscription. But yeah, I will start by showing you the books that I've received over the last year, and then we'll just move on to talking a little bit more about whether it is worth it, if you've been thinking of joining the waitlist, or if you are on the waitlist, just kind of what to expect from the books and what my opinion of the subscription service is. Actually, before I show you the books, I should probably talk a little bit about the box. So obviously it is a Romantasy subscription, which is like romantic fantasy books. So the cost of the box, I'm in the UK, so I pay £21 a month for the subscription, and then £3.95 for the shipping, which I think is really good because typically a hardback book is £22. So even though it's only £1 cheaper, it is a special edition. So I do think the price is definitely really worth it. There is the option to skip a month. I personally have not skipped any months because I don't really look up spoilers. There are a couple of accounts on Instagram that do guess, but I am kind of that person that I feel like if I skip a month, it's going to end up being an amazing book and I'm really going to regret it. So I haven't skipped, but going forward, if I do continue with my subscription, then I may have to start looking up some of these spoilers and skipping some. But anyway, onto the books. The first books I received was July 2024, and that month's pick was The Wren in the Holly Library by K.A. Lind. I was obviously extremely excited when this turned up, and this is gorgeous. I will try not to say that about all of these editions because they truly are gorgeous. So this is what the dust jacket looks like. It is blue with gold foiling on the back there, and then the sprayed edges have little birds and some vines also in blue and gold. And then under the dust jacket again is blue and gold, so we just have the title, and then the back has this illustration of a book, and then every book has character art in as well. I absolutely love this character art. So this is at the front, and this is our female main character at the back. And then one thing with the subscription box, every book has a personalised letter to the reader as well from the author, and they are all signed. Some are digitally signed and some are hand signed. So I think this one does look like it is one of the hand signed ones. My opinion on this pick of the month, I did pick this up to read it 2 months ago, and I did end up DNFing it. So if you think I got it in July and I picked it up in, I think, May of the following year, and I ended up DNFing it. I DNF'd it around 130 pages. So pick wise, it's gorgeous, but it wasn't really for me. So I think I may have been a little underwhelmed if I had picked this up in the first month because it wasn't really one for me. This is a dark romance inspired by A Beauty and the Beast, where monsters live among humankind and ancient secrets threaten to destroy everything. This book wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be. I think that is one of the reasons why I did end up DNFing it, but I do think it is a good choice for this subscription. So let's move on to August 2024's pick. August 2024 pick was Bonded by Thorns by Elizabeth Helen. So here is the front cover. We have our female main character. The side just has the title on it, and the back has a window with roses, and the sprayed edge is flowers, which I love. Then the hardcover underneath the dust jacket matches the sprayed edge where we have flowers. There is some red foiling on here as well with text and some of the flowers. And the character art on the front inside cover. The back inside cover have the author's signature and the letter to the readers. I did forget to mention that the dust jackets are reversible and they have the original book covers on the other side. I have read this book. I read this in September of 2024, so the month after I received it, and honestly I only picked it up that month because it was my local book club's monthly pick. I think I rated it 5 stars. It could possibly have been 4, but this is a why choose romance. I really do like those, so I was very excited about this pick. I actually hadn't heard of this one or the first one before I received them in the boxes, which I really like to receive a book that I don't know about, although as we will see going on, they are quite popular books some months. This is also a spicy Beauty and the Beast retelling, so we've had 2 Beauty and the Beast retellings back to back, but this one is filled with fae, morally grey characters and a sinfully hot villain and princess who has found her Prince Charming, all 4 of them. This is part of a series. I believe there are 4 books, and I think Fairyloot did do editions of the rest of the book in the series, but I did not get those. I do want to continue the series, but I will just get the regular editions. And again, I do think this pick fits the subscription theme very well, and I would like to see more Why Choose books included. Then moving on to September 2024, we have The Half King by Melissa Landers. So here is the dust jacket. I love the purple and the gold. We have the spine and the back cover and the sprayed edges. So we have kind of a mountain with some smoke or something maybe coming out. Then the hard cover, we just have the title with some gold foiling, which again continues the whole way around, and then we have a mask on the back. Character art of this one is absolutely gorgeous, and there's foiling on this bit as well. Like, I'm obsessed with this character art. We have the signature and the author letter. I have not yet read this book, but I was extremely excited when it came through. Again, it was another one that I had not heard of, and I'm pretty sure this we obviously got in the September box, but I'm pretty sure this was actually released in October, because I remember searching it up and I couldn't really find anyone that had read it. And then a few weeks later, I saw people like on the release day posting about arcs for it. And I think that was very unusual. I could be wrong there, but yeah, I'm pretty sure this was before the book was properly released. I won't read the entire blurbs for all of these because I don't want this video to be too long, but at the very top it says, in a world where birth order determines your fate, what if everything you believed about yourself was a lie? I honestly don't know why I haven't picked this one up yet, because I've been excited to read it since the moment I got it. I think this is one of the chunkiest books that I have received so far in this subscription. I do think it is truly gorgeous, and I just really need to get to it soon. I haven't looked into what this book is about, so I can't really talk about that or say whether I think it fits the subscription box, but at the time I think this was my favourite book that I had received so far when this one came through. I love the hardcover of this under the dust jacket. I just think it's so pretty. October 2024, we received The Coven by Harper L. Woods. I love that this has a character art on the front. Again, we have silver foiling this time, and we have a quote on the back. And the sprayed edges, we have skulls, bones and flowers. Underneath the dust jacket, we have another skull and flowers. I'm sorry if you can hear trucks going by. We live on a new build estate, and although I've been here 2 years, they are still building at the end of our road, and it is constantly noisy. As you can see, the back of this one is just plain, which is kind of disappointing, but the front is beautiful. And again, we have character art, so we have our female main character and our male main character. And the month we received this, we also received a character art print. I don't know, yeah, it's just there on the back wall, and it is basically just a print of the cover of the book, which I thought was really cool to include that, because I think that's the only month we've gotten something a little extra. I forgot there's the signature, and this one does not actually include an author letter. I have read this one. I gave it 5 stars. I read this in May, I think it was when I picked up the Red in the Holly Library, DNF'd it and picked up this one, and this is one of my favourite books of the year so far, so I'm extremely excited that I loved it and have this gorgeous edition of the book. In this one, our female main character is a witch and her magic has been hidden from the coven, but when her mother dies, that like protection is lifted and the coven are able to find her, and she is dragged to this school by the main character, who is the head teacher, as she is the last of her bloodline, and her teacher have the romance. So bit dark, bit forbidden, but I absolutely loved it, and at this point in time I think this is my favourite book that I have received in the subscription so far. I also think this is the thinnest book, shortest book that we have received so far, and I know some people don't like character art, but for me, I love character art covers. I'm obsessed. November 2024, we received A Fire in the Sky by Sophie Jordan. I love the colours of this cover. So we have whites and oranges. The back we have a dragon and a quote. And then the sprayed edges we have a dragon. Under the dust jacket is scales for the dragon the whole way round. The front character art and the back character art. The signature and the author letter. I will say when this arrived, I was kind of disappointed. I really do not like this cover. I don't know why, I don't really like it. Yeah, I just felt this wasn't really up to the standards of the other books that I had received up to that point. I also noticed that the dust jacket was not put on this properly. You can't really tell, so it's not a big deal, but you can kind of see like it hasn't been folded on there properly, and I haven't been able to fold it on there so that it fits flush. But honestly, I've seen a lot of people have issues with Fairyloot in regards to damages on their books, and this is the most unperfection that I have ever had on a book, which is saying something. For me, I've had no issues with the quality. I did try reading this, I think it may have been the month after I received it, and I couldn't really get into it, but I did not finish the first chapter, so I haven't officially DNF'd it as such. I do want to give it a proper go, but I'm not too sure if this is going to be one for me. So it is a little bit hit or miss so far. And the small description on the blurb is magic is not dead, it is only sleeping, and it will take one ordinary girl with an extraordinary destiny to awaken it. December's pick is my most favourite that we have received so far, and that is Heavenly Bodies. I'm not 100% sure how you say the author's name, so I apologise, I'm probably saying this very wrong, but I think it's Amani Eru. I apologise, but this is the dust jacket. Again, we have gold foiling and a quote on the back with the sprayed edge, and then under the dust jacket, this is actually stunning. And I know I said I loved the coven, but this is one of my other favourite covers that we have received. We have character art for the front and character art for the back, the author signature, and this one does not have a letter from the author in it either. I have not read this book yet. It is one of my most anticipated books on my TBR. I have a habit that I just put off books that I am really looking forward to, so it takes me a while to get round to them, but I was so excited when this book came through because it had been one that I'd been really wanting, and I saw so many people resold this for crazy money, which is just awful. Like, people who get these subscription boxes just to sell them on and are taking the books away from people that really want them, not cool. So this is definitely a highly wanted edition of this book. And just a little bit from the blurb, we have, you know, the most dangerous kind of villain, a woman with nothing left to lose. In a world ruled by the stars, cruel and merciless gods, Alara has been cursed by fate. I have personally heard lots of good things about this one, so I think this is definitely going to be worth the read and will have fitted the subscription very well. And I think I just need to get to this really soon because I've been putting it off way too long since December. Then January 2025, we received the Starlight Air by Emily Howard, the dust jacket. we have gold foiling and a quote on the back, and then the sprayed edges, which I love the colours of this. Then the hardcover, I really do not like this design. I love the colours of it, but I don't know, this isn't really very me. Then the character art, letter from the author, and the author signature. I have read this one and I gave it 5 stars. I was pleasantly surprised by this book. It is one that I probably would not have picked up if I hadn't received it in the subscription. So again, I just love that when you receive a book that you don't really think is going to be your thing and then you end up loving it. A bladesmith blessed by the stars, a prince with a dangerous secret, a god bound in shadows. From best-selling author Emily Howard comes a scorching new romantasy that will leave you spellbound. This had a lot of adventure in it, and from what I remember, I could be wrong, but I felt this was a no spice romance, or if there was spice, it was very minimal, which I think is good because I think sometimes romantasy can have a lot of spice in it and not everyone likes to read that or wants to read that. So I think it's good to have the levels of spice change throughout the subscription, because sometimes I want to read it and sometimes I really don't. And these days it is, you know, becoming harder to find a book that doesn't include spice. But this is the original cover, so I do think they have matched the hardcover design very well to the original cover of the book. I felt this did read kind of YA, so I don't know if this really fit the subscription. Like, obviously it is romantasy, but I feel compared to the other books so far, this one was a bit lighter and read a bit younger. So I'm assuming maybe it did have a little bit of spice, otherwise it probably would have been a YA pick, but I did really like this one. Into February 2025, we received Iron and Embers by Helen Shearer. Again, I'm probably saying that really wrong, so I do apologise. So here we have the dust jacket. Again, we have silver foiling, the spine, and the back we have a quote. And the sprayed edges are floral. Under the dust jacket of this one is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm obsessed. So we have purple with gold foiling, sorry, silver foiling and flowers, and it looks like a book in itself. We have a quote on the back as well. There is some slight damage at the bottom, but I think that was probably more likely done by me putting it on the shelf than arriving damaged from Fairyloot. Character art in the front, character art in the back, the author's letter, and the signature. You can probably guess where I'm going to go with this. I have not yet read this. Again, with Heavenly Bodies, I've been highly anticipating this one, so I had been putting it off. And it looks like we also have a ribbon bookmark in here as well, which sometimes comes, sometimes doesn't, but I think that is a really cute addition when you do get those in the books. This book is the first installment in a trilogy. Our female main character is called Ren, and she is an alchemist turned assassin, and she is trying to seek vengeance for the death of her friends. I have heard a lot of good things about this book, so again, I probably would say, even though I haven't read it, that this is a good choice for this subscription box, and I think this is going to be a 5 stars when I get around to reading it. Then the March pick was A Firebird by Juliet Cross. This is absolutely gorgeous. We have gold foiling again, we have lots of red and oranges. This one I was kind of disappointed when it first arrived and I took the dust jacket off. I don't think this looks very special edition. I think I have like regular hardbacks that have prettier hardcovers than this, so I was a little underwhelmed with the design of this one, but the dust jacket does kind of make up for it because it is gorgeous. Again, the character art on the front, the character art in the back, the reader letter, and author signature. So again, I have not read this one, although that is for like an actual reason. I am going to give it a go because I own it, but this is set in ancient Rome, and is it like a mythical retelling? I like kind of fairy tale retellings, but I don't read anything that's like Roman, ancient Greek. It's just not really my thing to read those kinds of retellings. So this is definitely a book that I would not have picked up and bought myself if it wasn't part of the subscription. But I am going to give it a go because I own it. And this one just says, a conqueror captivated, a witch prophesies to save them all. Again, I've seen a lot of people who have been wanting this edition, so I'm assuming that this is a good book, and I think it does fit the theme of Romantasy well. It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm hoping that I am really going to love it, and it's going to be, like I said with the Starlight Air, a book that I would never have chosen for myself but ended up loving. Okay, the May pick 2025 was The Wind Weaver by Julie Johnson. I'd never heard of this book, but my best friend was super excited when this came through because she said it had been on her TBR. This is gorgeous. We have gold foiling and like a creamy colour. Here is the back. We have like a wing and some gold foiling. And the sprayed edges are feathers. Under the dust jacket, this is gorgeous, but it isn't really to my taste. So you have the gold foiling again and like some clouds on the back, character art in the front and character art in the back, the author signature and the author letter, which in this one actually looks like the author wrote it herself. It's in handwriting, which is pretty cool. Again, I have not read this book, and like I said, I had actually not heard of this until it arrived. This one says, a prophecy reignited, a storm unleashed, and a love that could shatter everything, and Raya must choose her heart or the kingdom. It's quite chunky, so I'm a little intimidated to pick it up, but it is absolutely stunning. June 2025, we received Broken Souls and Bones by L.J. Andrews. We have a purple cover. And again, some skulls, flowers, and a quote on the back. And then the sprayed edge is gorgeous. We have like a wolf and some flowers. And under the dust jacket is all silver foiling with like these forest scenes, the front character art, the back character art, author signature, and the letter to the readers. I have not yet read this, and this is another one that I had not heard of before receiving it. I typically don't keep up with new releases. I find all my recommendations and books to add to my TBR through people's reading wrap-ups. So a lot of the time the books I'm reading aren't new releases. The only new releases I keep up with are kind of favourite authors. This one says, together they'll restore a broken kingdom or burn it to the ground. This sounds like something that I'm absolutely going to love. I haven't really heard anyone talk about this one yet. I'm not sure when it was actually released in comparison to Fairyloot, putting it in the subscription, but I'm really excited to read it. I have some books by this author on my Kindle, and I don't think I've actually read anything yet by them, so I think it's going to be good. I think I've got the last couple of months wrong. That was May, this was June. Rose and Chains by Julie Soto. This is an extremely popular book at the moment. So we have a fox on the back, we have silver foiling with red and grey. Oh, and the sprayed edges we have roses and chains, which obviously fits the title perfectly. Under the dust jacket we have character art, which is my personal kind of favourite. And we have some vines and thorns on the back. We have the character art and the author signature under the front cover, and the character art on the back, and the author's letter. I haven't yet read this one. I have seen a lot of people who have read it though say they really liked it, so I am really looking forward to getting to it. I'm honestly surprised that this was one of the most recent ones after it was released because it was so popular. I think a lot of people really wanted this edition. In this one, the heroine watches her brother die and her kingdom fall. Then she is captured by the enemy, stripped of her magic and auctioned off to the highest bidder. Then this month, July 2025, we received Arcana Academy by Elise Cover. This is absolutely gorgeous. So on the back we have like a tarot card kind of design, and the sprayed edges we have tarot cards. And then under the dust jacket again it's just like black with silver foiling, the front character art and the back character art, and the author letter. And I have just noticed flicking through this, mine actually isn't signed. Usually you have the author signature on the bottom of the letter, and then on the title page you also only have the author signature, and mine doesn't. So I don't know if mine was just not signed and missed out, or if these just weren't signed. So I might have to have a look at other people's unboxings of this to see whether it was actually signed, because that's kind of disappointing. You expect them to be signed and this one isn't. This book I have read, so this came out this month and I received an e-arc for it and I DNF'd it. So I was a little bit disappointed, and this is where it's kind of obviously my own fault, but where I don't keep up with what the books are going to be. I did not know that this was this month's pick until after I had made my payment. If I had known before my payment was made that this was the pick, I would have skipped for the first time, because now I'm torn. Now it's arrived and it's so gorgeous, it's making me want to read it, but the other half of me is like, if I hadn't received it, I would never have gone back to this book because I DNF'd 130 pages in, which I think is quite fair as to whether I was going to like the book or not. So I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with this. I might just pop it up on Vinted, we'll see. But I think this is, again, a good pick. I love an academy romance, and I thought we were going to get more academy kind of romances in this subscription. I feel it is quite dragon romance heavy. I don't know if that's because books like Fourth Wing are so popular, but I would like to see more academy romances. This is the first installment of a new series, and in this, our female main character, she was like in jail at the start and she was taken out to attend this academy where they all kind of master tarot cards. Honestly, the reason I didn't have this was because there was so much going on in so little space and I couldn't really understand a thing. So I don't know, maybe I'll give it another go. Maybe I'm just going to get rid of it. So they are all of the books that I've received over the last year. So pick-wise, I would say yes, they are all obviously fantasy romances, but I do think they are good choices. They are a wide variety. We have some, is it mythological? I'm probably really wrong when I'm saying that, but we have some like mythological retellings, we have some fairy tale retellings, we have dragons, we have academy. Like, there is a wide range of stories, although sometimes you get them that are back to back and they do feel quite similar, such as the first two being Beauty and the Beast retellings. I think we had like 2 dragon themed books back to back, so I think that could be better, that you don't kind of get the same ones back to back. I think the designs are gorgeous. Some of them I love. I mean, all of them are really good. Some of them aren't really to my taste, but again, these subscription boxes, they're a mystery if you don't look them up. It's going to be hit or miss. Sorry, it's like 8 hours later. I had to go out earlier and I've only just got back, so gonna finish the video now. But yeah, the next thing, so price, obviously, as I said at the start, is £21 a month plus shipping, and I do think that is definitely a plus. I think it's one of the cheapest subscription boxes out of all of the ones that I have found, and I do think it is definitely worth your money. The shipping is always very quick. It's normally shipped kind of the 3rd week of the month, and I think one time I had to wait about a week for it to arrive, but most of the time after I've had the email to say that it's been passed to the delivery company and it's out for shipping, I normally only wait like 2-3 days, so that is normally pretty good as well. But in all honesty, I am at the point where I'm thinking of cancelling my subscription, because as it was fairly obvious throughout that, I have not really read any of the books I have received, and I just feel like I don't personally make the most out of the subscription, and I do feel like I am taking a spot from someone who would probably not appreciate it more, because I do appreciate it, but I feel like I don't read them quick enough to warrant having that subscription, and a lot of the time they are books that I wouldn't typically pick up, which does kind of put me off reading them. I have been looking around other subscription boxes, and this month I've been accepted onto another one, which is a romance book box, because I typically read a lot more romance than I do fantasy. So I have joined a new one, and I was going to compare the two this month, but the new one has still not arrived. It was supposed to be shipped out on Friday. I had an email to say that it was going to be shipped out on Friday, and I've had nothing since, and it's Monday. I thought I might have heard something by today, but no. So honestly, that subscription box is not the best service so far, and it's only my first month, so hopefully that arrives before my next Fairyloot payment comes out, so I can kind of choose between which one I'm going to stick with, although I might just skip the next Fairyloot one and just focus on the other subscription. I just kind of feel like at this point I'm just taking the subscription away from someone. like whenever they post what the themes are, there's always people in the comments about how desperate they are to get off the wait list, and I just feel kind of guilty that I have this subscription that I feel I don't use enough of it. Because when I first got it, I thought I will just read the books in a month, and they just sat on my shelf, and I have a Fairyloot shelf and they look pretty, but I just don't know if for me personally if the subscription is worth it in the sense of the books that we are receiving, because I might kind of go 3 months with books that I'm not interested in, but then I'll get one that is a highly anticipated read and I'll be so glad that I have the subscription and not have to pay extortionate reseller prices. So I feel it's like a little bit weighted. It's hit or miss for me most months, and honestly I don't quite know what to do. I will say that it is definitely a subscription box that is worth trying. I know the wait list is very long, but I would recommend the subscription. Yeah, I'm gonna give another one a go and we shall see. I might use my 3 skips for the next 3 months and then cancel if there's nothing that I'm really interested in. But I've heard rumours of the September book and I really want it, so I'm thinking I will probably keep the subscription at least until September. But yeah, it's been a year and I've only read 2 books out of the subscription and I have DNF'd 2. So that leaves 9 books that I've not even picked up, which isn't great. But if you've made it to this point, thank you so much. I hope that this maybe helped you if you were considering, just giving you an idea of what the books are and things. I would love to know if you have the Fairyloot Romantasy subscription, or do you have any other fantasy or romance or just any other book boxes that you receive each month. It is honestly one of my highlights of my month, is receiving my box and seeing what I've got inside. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I'll see you again next week.